we have to talk about Lifeweaver. The concerns I have for this hero are innumerous, considering his stats are very underwhelming and it's very unintuitive for how he's supposed to apply in different skill tiers. Now, believe it or not, I am a Lifeweaver supporter. In fact, I think I'm the only one in my community that is. And the reason why I like him so much is that he adds a different flavor. His tools that he provides allows for more compositional expression, much like Lucio does. But if I look at the kit and how it stands now, what reason do I have to play him over any other support? I see the potential, but I have to ask this question because he's so general and doesn't have a specific niche where he thrives. For instance, Mercy is the best pocket healer because she can attach to that hero, apply a damage boost, and also sustain them with their healing beam. And there's no need to really worry about Mercy's survivability because she has one of the best mobilities in the game. Zenyatta is a very slow hero where his Discord over time will eventually draw out resources and they will just win. Lucio obviously has a speed boost to enable heroes like Reinhardt so that he can catch up to the enemies and be in his effective range, or for disengage purposes. Baptiste has his own immortality field. His passive is Exa Boots, which is a better pedal platform because it's not on CD. He does more damage and also can heal at the same time, and his healing is better. He also has a better way of sustaining himself with regen burst. Lifeweaver just lacks in so many different departments, whereas a Baptiste, who is more selfish because, I mean, you can think of Lifeweaver as a main support if you want to think about it in those types of terms. And in order to play this hero properly, it requires you to be creative, but also your teammates to be creative. But because you're in ranked and you don't have that communication factor, you're not on the same page, it just means he's going to get diminishing returns. I think it's best to move on because I do have a habit of rambling on a certain topic. So we'll talk about Lifeweaver's kit and some of the changes I would personally make in order to make Lifeweaver good and healthy for the game. But in a similar format to the Sojourn rework video, I want to talk about the things that I would like to keep. The pedal platform, I have no qualms with it whatsoever. I think how its use is and the creative interactions that you can have with it are just perfect. Only slight suggestion, which will take a little bit of trial and error, is the hitbox. Something like the cars, especially in Overwatch 2 that float, you accidentally put it underneath the bus and then you just can't lift yourself up. The second thing is rejuvenating dash. If I were to have my way, I would remove the ability completely because it would give more power into something like his Thorn Volley, where he can actually duel people. But knowing the amount of work that the devs have put into this ability and the character animation, I don't think you can remove it. Regardless, it's a minor movement ability that allows Lifeweaver to trigger his support passive healing, so not too crazy. The third thing, which funny enough people think needs a change, I think Tree of Life is good how it's designed. Considering the other changes that I'm going to make with the rest of the kit, this will actually get buffed because it's already one of the cheapest ultimates in the game, and the fact that it can manipulate the physical environment by, let's say, improving the corner, that means you can extend the wall out and someone like Reinhardt will get healing while also having more cover to fall behind. Otherwise, it's very good for the stacked healing. The burst healing is nice, but the stacked healing over time, especially on a map like Nepal Village on the point, it's just so enclosed, it just allows people to brawl in those tight enclosed rooms. Now we have to talk about the rework, and I'll start with the passive, the Parting Gift. As a passive, it kind of just exists. More or less, it just makes Lifeweaver more of a target priority, and I can see a lot of Genji players who salivate over Lifeweaver because they reset their dash, and they also gain healing, so it's almost like you just get a free kill for the stat card and you can go in again and kill more people. That dynamic is pretty cool and all, but it doesn't really buff the allies so much. Many a times have I just accidentally walked over it and gained 10 healing because I was already practically full HP. What it should have, though, is an effect. I think if it had a nano boost effect, but lasts 3 to 4 seconds, that'd be pretty cool, especially with how his kit is designed. If he dies early and your Cassidy suddenly picks up that Parting Gift for 3 to 4 seconds, he is a crazy killer machine, and he can pick up 1, maybe 2 picks depending on his aim. Duration 2, take it or leave it. 12 seconds, I don't think is long enough. I think it should be 20 to 30 seconds. All right, now Healing Blossom. Let's talk about the differences before we talk about the rework. The differences between Healing Blossom and something like Baptiste or Ana's Darts. While its burst healing is slightly less than them, it's actually its reactive healing effect. The best playstyle with Lifeweaver is to heal bot, because anytime you switch to Thorn Volley and you want to go and heal someone, you have to charge up a heal blossom in order to heal that target. So the only time where you would ever swap from Thorn Volley to healing blossom is when your teammate is low. But in that critical situation, those key frames, your teammate might die as you're trying to charge up a healing blossom. So to improve its consistency, I think it needs to have a lingering healing effect. With his healing numbers right now, I think you can keep his max healing, which is 65 currently. But if I'm being fair and just want to make sure that this guy doesn't become meta, if his max healing was reduced by 10, so therefore it would be 55, I think his lingering healing should be 30 lingering healing over 2 to 3 seconds. For reference, Moira has 70 healing per second and 51 lingering healing over 3 seconds. Difference with Moira, she doesn't have range. The other obvious thing is Healing Blossom's movement speed penalty. Why does this even exist? If I'm being devil's advocate, it's so that the Healing Blossom can't be held and charged infinitely, waiting for that situation where your teammate becomes critical and then you can immediately throw it onto someone. But during the mid fight, no other support besides Ana has a movement speed penalty while they're healing. All right, so those are the buffs. If you want to further compensate it, you could also look at the reload time or the amount of ammo the Healing Blossom has. Considering the lingering healing effect and burst healing that it has, if he had less ammo, which means he had to reload more, or if the reload time was longer, there would just be more windows or longer windows where you could kill people during that time. The alt fire, Thorn Volley, as it stands now, nothing too drastic. Not gonna lie, I kind of expected a shotgun for this Thorn Volley, but as it stands now, where it's a very similar weapon type as Sojourn's weapon, I think what it really needs is a little bit more spamminess. It's not effective at long range, and close range, it's not threatening enough to really force a tracer away. But if you increase the spam, it'll allow him to at least get more chip damage involved, and it kind of improves the fun factor of the kit. So his current ammo capacity is 60, but if you increase the thorns to 80, I think that'd be great for his kit. And here we go, the most controversial ability, Life Grip. As I've said before, I look at this hero and think of his potential, and I just think, wow, this ability is so cool. It is probably the most fair immortality ability there is in the game, and there are 4 supports that have those now. Honestly, there could be 5 and 6 because Valkyrie is impossible to kill and Brigida's Rally is insanely powerful. But when you look at the potential, you also have to take in the downsides. The downside is that you don't have the team coordination, so you're never on the same page. In pros, this kit is going to be fantastic to watch. In ranked, you don't want your teammate to make decisions for you. Now, there are 2 different ways you can go about the Life Grip design. You can have the consent method, and this would include some way of pressing interact to accept the Life Grip. The second way is that it's a pickup item. There are 2 problems that I have with the interact version and the pick up the Life Grip. The problem is that you get free value. If you have a player like Soldier, let's say, who's taking an off angle and wants to have a free escape, then he can take the Life Grip, which is a pickup item, and go to safety. That's stupid. There's no skill involved. It just happens and that guy can do whatever he wants up until he's forced away. For the interact method, where you have to accept it, depends how you implement it, but the way I'm thinking is that there's Life Grip, which is being used by Lifeweaver, and it throws an indicator on, let's say, a tracer. The tracer can hold that indicator so long as there's LOS, and then when the tracer wants to recall, then she can press the interact to escape. I guess you could think of another way to implement this interact method, and that is the Life Grip will show up on your screen and you can interact to accept it. The problem with that then is that you get this big visual on your screen, so you got visual clutter, plus the reactive element of Life Grip kind of gets thrown out the window. If Lifeweaver wants to save someone, he can't do that. It's all on the tracer to accept it, and I think that's also stupid. In my mind, the only way to make this ability usable for both Lifeweaver and the player, the window size could be reduced so that it would require some level of aim. Then you would have some cancel aspect, and I think interact would be the best, not crouch, because in dual scenarios, sometimes you're crouching to dodge and weave, and that means when you get Life Grip, you will accidentally cancel your own escape. There's no good way to balance this ability because having someone else dictate your own movement will always feel bad. I think over time, people will become accustomed to Lifeweaver being picked, and they'll find strategies to make this hero and this ability work. That's going to be it for me. Let me know what you guys think about Lifeweaver in the comments down below. It's going to be one of the most controversial, and with this one ability, Life Grip, it's going to cause a lot of dissent, which is ironic for someone who's all about love.